A few weeks ago, my badge, the one that I have worn for years, stopped functioning. I went to unlock my office door, and after I did, the key just sort of fell, just swinging there. See, the tension cord that's supposed to pull it back just hung there, loose and worn. And I remember looking at it and saying, this right here, this will preach, because that badge has been through a lot with me: classrooms, campuses, late nights, and early mornings. It's seen me carry boxes of curriculum, materials for sessions, wipe tears, get pre K kids out of cars, walk with secondary students on a bad day, pray over data, and hold kids accountable the same way and with the same kind of love I'd give to my own. But somewhere along the way, that cord got stretched too far. And if I'm being honest, so did I. There comes a moment in every leader's journey when you realize the tension that used to pull you forward doesn't return the same. You're still standing, you're still working, but the elasticity of joy, it's gone. And we don't talk enough about what it costs to lead in spaces that constantly pull every demand, every new initiative, every fire you're asked to put out. And because you're strong, people assume your strength has no limits, but strength has capacity. When you're stretched past it without rest, without replenishment, without true support, you don't break, you just stop bouncing back. You keep showing up, but you're not returning to form. That badge reminded me of that. It looked intact, but it couldn't function the same. It had been pulled too many times for too long without release. And maybe that's what God is showing some of us right now, that when the tension goes, it's not always a failure. Sometimes it's a sign that the assignment has shifted. For almost 3 decades, I've poured into this field, a field that I love. As a teacher, as an administrator, and as a leader, I've walked campuses where hope felt thin, and I still believe we could build something beautiful. I believe in the comeback story because I have one, and because I truly love and have been committed to this field. Some choose to do the work. I was born to do the work. I was called to do the work. Impact over applause, always. Purpose over podium at every step. I have fought for kids who were overlooked, who were under-resourced and underestimated. I've led teachers through the hardest seasons of their career, especially through the pandemic. And I've watched transformation happen in places people had written off. But calling comes with cost. It asks for your energy, your emotion, your endurance, sometimes more than the world gives back. And here's the truth: you can be walking in purpose and still feel pain. You can be effective and still be utterly exhausted. And sometimes when you're a woman who leads directly, who holds people accountable, who's clear and uncompromising, that strength, it gets misunderread, it gets mislabeled. But that's truly just your integrity and your credibility showing up. The truth is, clarity is not cruelty, and accountability is not abuse, and being strong doesn't mean you're not human. So I sat there looking at the badge, realizing God was preaching to me through something ordinary, because see, that's how he shows up with me. He speaks in metaphors and analogies and moments and the quiet symbolism of my everyday life. And I think he probably does that for you too. You just have to be watching and listening. That badge didn't break, it just stopped retracting. And that's the difference between being broken and being released. Maybe this isn't the end of my story. It's just the loosening of what once hold me or held me confined. Maybe I'm not being pushed out. Maybe, just maybe, I'm being pulled forward. Isaiah 43:19 reminded me, behold, I am doing new things. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Sometimes we can't perceive it because we're still gripping the old, still trying to pull the cord that God has already let go of. So yes, this season is uncomfortable. There's uncertainty, there's emotion, and a whole lot of questions, but I'm learning to shift from understanding it to accepting it, from being suspended to being settled. But there's also a great amount of peace here because I trust that God was in every single conversation. He heard things, he saw things that I did not, and he knows what's coming. He will be in every step I take forward. Here's what I've learned. High standards don't make you harsh, they make you consistent. Being misunderstood doesn't mean you were wrong, it often means you were early. And stretching teaches discernment. You start to see what's worth holding on to and what needs to be released. And maybe the biggest lesson, you can love your work deeply and still need to leave it faithfully. God doesn't measure obedience by longevity. He measures it by alignment. And when a door closes, that doesn't cancel your calling, it redirects it. I've come to realize I wasn't hired for this work by a system or a person. I was called to this work by God, and callings don't expire because contracts and opportunities do. We have to give ourselves permission to be both devoted and done, to know that being tired doesn't mean faithless, and to remember that grace still meets us in humanity. This moment isn't about me being ashamed of what's happened or what's ended. It's about surrender. It's about trusting that God's character is still good, even when the chapter feels heavy and unclear. And for anyone listening who feels misunderstood, unseen, or stretched too thin, I'm with you, and hear me. It's not hypocrisy to outgrow a space that once held you. It's healing. So today I'm choosing faith over fear. I am betting on God, and I am betting on Misti Green. I'm betting on me. This badge may have lost its tension, but the mission remains the same: to serve, to teach, to lead, to show up in my calling, and to keep showing up in truth. I don't know what the next chapter will look like, but I know who's writing it. If this is the close of one door, then I trust the next one will open right on time. And as that door opens, I want to personally invite you to walk this next phase of life with me, to follow the journey as it unfolds, because what's ahead isn't just my story. It's a reminder of what God can do with any story. We'll take it one step at a time. We'll breathe lighter. We'll dream braver, and we'll rebuild what was never lost, just waiting to be reborn. To every listener, every colleague, every heart that's crossed my paths with mine, thank you for the stretch, and thank you for the support. They were both needed. And to all my students, past, present, and future, know this, as many of you do already: I'm still here, and I'm still cheering for you, always. I invite you to journey the next phase with me. Pull up a chair. The table is set. You've been listening to the I Lead Misti Blue podcast, where strategy meets soul and faith finds its voice.